The cabinet will start discussing what they want from a trade deal within weeks. Theresa May has secured a deal to move Brexit talks forward, but now she has to unite her cabinet behind a trade deal. Senior ministers insist they all back the PM's basic red lines, quitting the single market and customs union, and leaving the European Court. Press Association 6 Theresa May must get her cabinet to agree on a Brexit trade deal, but within the cabinet there is a wide range of different views, from soft Brexit supporters to the committed Eurosceptics. The divisions are likely to become ever more stark as ministers work out how much EU regulation Britain should agree to adopt in order to boost trade. May's REMAINERS Philip Hammond. The Chancellor has drawn the anger of Brexiteers by emphasising the dangers of quitting the EU instead of the benefits. AFP 6 Philip Hammond supports a close relationship with Europe. He is keen to strike a deal which prioritises the needs of business, even if that keeps Britain tied closely to Brussels. Amber Rudd. The Home Secretary helped lead the Remain campaign during the EU referendum and is still seen as pro-European. As the Minister in charge of national security, she is concerned about loosening the close cooperation on crime fighting between Britain and Europe. Damian Green. The First Secretary of State is the only cabinet minister who openly admits he would vote Remain in a second EU referendum. He is likely to push the cabinet towards close alignment with the EU for fear of destabilising the economy. Reuters 6 Amber Rudd is keen to keep security links between Britain and the EU. Rex features 6 Jeremy Hunt is set to argue that the NHS needs strong ties with Europe. Jeremy Hunt, the Health Secretary, has been converted to the Brexit cause, but is set to argue that the NHS is reliant on strong links with the rest of Europe. Any deal which makes it harder for hospitals to get a reliable supply of medication will be fiercely resisted by Mr Hunt. David Mundell. The Scottish Secretary's top priority is seeing off the SNP and avoiding the threat of Scottish independence. Nationalists are keen to see different standards apply across the UK as a prelude to the country's breakup. Mr Mundell will be careful not to give them any ammunition. Getty Images. Getty 6 Boris Johnson and Michael Gove see themselves as guardians of Brexit. Brexit boosters. Boris Johnson, the Foreign Secretary, sees himself as the guardian of the Brexit flame and wants a deal which will boost the UK's place in the world. He is keen to cast off restrictive EU rules as quickly as possible, so will push for divergence from the European status quo. Michael Gove. The Environment Secretary has been drawing attention to the way EU law dictates how Britain can run its farming and conservation. He is adamant that the UK must quit the Common Fisheries Policy as soon as we leave the EU in 2019, rather than keeping the same rules during a transition period. David Davis is supposed to be overseeing the whole Brexit process. Liam Fox, the International Trade Secretary, needs Britain to cut EU ties quickly to make his job worthwhile. Dr. Fox wants to start cutting trade deals around the world from 2019 and will be furious if he has to wait any longer to sign agreements with the likes of the US and Japan. Andrea Leadsom, the leader of the House, challenged Theresa May for the Tory leadership and will protest against any signs of Brexit backsliding. Most read in politics blame crazy president of African country which gets millions in UK aid buys £7 million jet border wars. David Davis sparks war of words by saying Brexit Irish border deal not binding. Green sleaze male associate of Damian Green backs woman who made sexual misconduct claim. Labour Jew hate activist suspended for video of councillors dancing in Jewish clothing. No to drones. Corbyn ally says ISIS Brits shouldn't be killed before they return to the UK. Shameless Labour MP who said she couldn't afford a house buys 3-bedroom home this weekend. She urged the PM to take back control, a hint she will be angry at any capitulation to Brussels. David Davis, the Brexit Secretary, who is running the whole process, insists cutting new trade deals around the world is a priority. That suggests he will push for a divergence from EU regulations, allowing the UK to accept a range of goods from new trading partners.